What is up, guys? My name is Wong and we are back with another video. Today we are driving an extraordinary automobile. This is the Godfather of Honda Japan, and it's quite effectively the genesis of Type R, even before the word Type R was ever before coined. This is the JDM legend, the Honda Civic EF9 SiR. This is a car that was largely believed to be the start of the JDM tuner scene across the world. This car was a huge success when it was released. It sported a complete double wishbone suspension that made it handle like an absolute dream. And this vehicle is now edging on 30 years of age. It was a car released specifically for the Japanese domestic market, and it came with the iconic B16A, which is a double overhead cam VTEC engine, one of the first to sport 100 horsepower per litre of displacement, paired with the JDM close ratio 5-speed manual transmission gearbox. And it was also kitted up with the Japanese EF kit that had so much JDM presence. All around the world, we also got the Civic, but it wasn't specifically an EF, it was an ED Civic that didn't come with the B16 engine, didn't come with the gearbox, didn't come with any of that kit, but it still sported that goodness of that double wishbone suspension, and it was still a fantastic basis of a motor vehicle. But people soon began to realize that the B16A could fit into the ED Civic without much trouble at all. So people went crazy, and this is what sparked the JDM revolution all across the world. And because of that, we now have things such as Initial D and Fast and Furious. This car is a true legend, and to be driving it out here, I'm honestly so excited, because this is not just any EF9, but it's a very well kept example that's been very tastefully enhanced. It's owned by my very good friend Ed over at Seeker Motorsport, and boy oh boy, this car is so awesome. Within 5 minutes of driving it, I'm honestly already lost for words. Listen to it. I can't wait to dive straight into this car. So if you guys want to see epic car reviews and some more automotive related content here on YouTube, consider subscribing to the channel, and let's get straight into it, shall we? Yes, VTEC power. That B series engine absolutely roars. Now, from factory, the EF Civic is said to have very few weaknesses. It was a car that weighed 1,010 kilos and it had 160 horsepower, one of the first to sport 100 horsepower per litre of displacement. This is truly what you would call the hot hatch, and it was a car that pioneered hot hatches of its generation and era. It really delivered. My word, when you hit about 4,000 RPMs, this car just feels and feels, because of that low center of gravity and that lightweight chassis which only weighs 1,010 kilos. It just feels absolutely beautiful. There's a lightness about this vehicle that really just isn't found in any other vehicle. Oh my lord, it's so fun to drive. The driving experience is so engaging and it immerses you into what this EF9 SiR has to offer, and it's beautiful. There's so much feedback through the steering wheel. I know exactly what this chassis is doing, and it's so planted to the tarmac. It feels like there's a whole lot of grip, and it invites you to drive it faster and faster. The amount of confidence that it invokes when you're driving this vehicle is truly otherworldly. I didn't expect a car to be 30 plus years old and still to invoke this kind of confidence. And that's why it's just such an exciting vehicle to drive. Look how planted it is through here. There's so much grip, and it literally revs up until 9,000 RPM on this Mugen ECU. This car isn't even extensively modified either. It's got a few tasteful mods, which includes toner cams, DC2R front brakes, a Fujitsu exhaust, 5 Ziggin headers, and that Mugen ECU, and because of that, it just unleashes a little bit more of that VTEC power, and all the driving inputs are right where you want it to be. The pedals are perfectly positioned for heel and towing. The gearbox is lovely to roll through the gears in this close ratio 5-speed manual transmission gearbox, and it's mated to this lovely Momo Alcantara steering wheel. The seat that I'm sitting in is a Recaro SPG, and it brings you right low down into the driving position, and I can't fault it at all. The response on this motor is just pure symphonic. And then you get that VTEC crossover at about 4,000 RPM, and you unlock a race engine. And as soon as you hop into this car and drive it around, you think hot hatch, and for one to evoke a driving experience that is so undiluted and pure, it's one of the best that I've ever driven before. Alright, we're gonna put the windows down, have a listen to how good this car sounds, because the owner Ed purchased this car 5 years ago, and it was bone stock factory when he first got it, and slowly over the course of his ownership he's tweaked it to exactly how he wanted, and in its current form it's bloody glorious. Now this vehicle is still very much close to its stock form. It hasn't been extensively modified, and I really like that about this car, because it doesn't have to be heavily modified to be enjoyable. Right out of the gates, it's still such a pocket rocket. This car comes it comes with a set of 88R tires, and they're wrapped over Mugen MF10 wheels. The way that the EF9 SiR looks is really just so unique and different to other hot hatches on the street. You know straight away that it's from the early 90s, and it's got such a cool JDM presence about it. The way it sits so low onto the road, and the fitment with the Mugen MF10s and the white walls with this green pearlescent paintwork just looks so right. The interior of this EF9 as well is equally as mint. It's bathed in leather everywhere, and it's a premium quality leather that still looks good till this day. And mind you, it's a 30-year-old vehicle, and back in the old days, what you would call a hot hatch, it's still such a practical car. There's a very usable trunk space. There's quite a spacious 2 rear seats that can sit a set of young kids or your babies, but for what it's worth, this car was really just such an epic sports car, and whenever you hop into a car like this, it's really just a time machine that takes you back. It's a testament to how well Honda had engineered these vehicles way back in its day. This car only has 120,000 Ks on the clock. That's literally nothing. These EF9 SiRs have skyrocketed in value as of late because they are just so hard to find in good condition. To pick one up nowadays here in Australia, you're looking at spending around the 30 to 50 grand mark, and over in Japan you're probably looking to spend even more so. For a clean example, Ed, the owner, rarely takes this out. I've had such a blast driving this JDM icon out here. It's been an absolute blessing, and I really want to say a huge thank you to the owner, Ed from Seeker Motorsport, for letting me drive his pride and joy. This car has been an absolute treat. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. In the comments below, tell me what you like about the Honda Civic EF9 SiR, and as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please take care. Bye for now.